But I want to go through a couple pictures that we didn't get to. And then the last one that I'm going to show you, I really want to comment on why collagen affected this body the way that it did. So I'll show a couple pictures here. And then again, I want to hear from Brett on this very last one that I'm going to show. So as everybody ages, right? Let's agree. And I will totally say that when I first in the trial process of this product, collagen, I was in the trial and I thought it was a vanity-based product. I didn't understand what it had potential inside of the body. I thought it was just outward appearance. But as we all age, who wants to age gracefully? And I know this person, I've known her for a long time, and you can't imagine how ecstatic she was with this transformation. And we've seen this over and over again with people like Renee. You know, look at this person, day 1 to day 14, the dramatic impact that it had. And imagine that positive self just admiration that you have when you see these outward appearances, as well as all the internal stuff that we've talked about today. 86-year-old, day 10, day 24, day 45. This is what we're seeing over and over and over from people. Okay, we're in the summer months, right? Who wants to look good in swimsuit season? Like, the transformation of skin has been mind-blowing to me. And we see it again over and over again. Day 1 to day 28, day 1 to day 21, 3 weeks later. These are people that we know we've seen for years. And I probably wouldn't believe some of these if I didn't know these people. And then, whoop, I hit the wrong arrow. This is the one I want a little bit of comment, Brett, and then we're going to wrap this up. Again, we could go another hour. We won't, but I want to understand how this happened. This is a lady that lived with us from Spain. She's a teacher. She taught at our kids' immersion Spanish school. And this is 3 years, almost 3 years after she had a cesarean scar. And you can see the dramatic change that happened over about a month to a month and a half in time. So how is it that a 3-year-old scar could change this dramatically when she integrated liquid collagen, Brett?
Yeah, I love this. You know, what's lovely, really fun about this is you can see the change, wherein Jesse or Eileen, we couldn't see it.
Right.
We could experience it, but the same thing, the reason why Jesse was able to lift 405 pounds, the reason why you're hearing all these experiences where people, like, for some reason now they're half inch taller, right, is that your body has a hierarchy of what it's most concerned about. And what you're concerned about may not be what your body is most concerned about. And so if you have something that's been there a really long time, in my head, I'm like, what else is going on underneath that? The body's more concerned about. So when you start giving somebody that activated tri-synergizer, which I love, or the activated liquid collagen specific in her case, her body was now having enough surplus to where it's able to repair. I look at a lot of what we do with LifeVantage in the term of finances. What I mean by that is, like, what if you made 30% more money or 40% more money this month, or had 40% less bills? Like, what would that feel like the first month? Like, you probably breathe a little sigh of relief, but what if it happened the next month, and the next month, and the next month? Whether that's 40% less bill or 40% more money, like, you're gonna go, that's your body. So as your body fixes what it has to, like puts the fire out, then it says, okay, now what's the most important thing to work on? Then what's the most important thing to work on? What's the most important thing to work on? So in her case, even though it's 3 years old, her body knew about it. It was so busy just trying to keep up with, like, we call it, our collagen activates, replenishes, and maintained. It was so busy trying to maintain what was going on. It didn't care about a scar. And when you're seeing that scar change on the outside, there's all sorts of change going on the inside, to where I guarantee you she's feeling more loose, more pliable. Her intestinal tract is probably working better than it has in a really long time. She probably just feels like she probably very likely had some back issues and stuff like that. They're not there anymore, because all of that tissue tightness that you could see in her skin was actually throughout that whole area. Because when you have a scar like that, and remember, it was a C-section scar, so that scar went from the skin to the uterus. So it went through multiple layers, and that was there, all that in, irritation, inflammation, contracting was all throughout. You couldn't see it. So she had all of those things going on. She'd probably standing up straighter, right? So it was the reason why you see that, Sean, the reason why she's now having the result after 3 years is that her body is functioning better. So we go that age. If aging is loss of function, there's other tissues now that are functioning more optimally, so it can then start fixing stuff that's really, basically more cosmetic. So like you and I, like we didn't want this to be a cosmetic type product because like, yeah, that's cool, like it's pretty, but like I don't really care about looking pretty. Like I care about like the emotional impact that someone can feel, like with that young lady's skin where the pigmentation changed. Like the way that affects her and how she views herself, that's magical, right? And so that's why, in my opinion, you're seeing that in her. And so I think what else could happen if we do it long enough? So just to wrap up, think about Eileen, 8 years. So had she stopped, which I hate to even think about that, like she would not be picking up her grandchild, in my opinion. Like I'd worked with her for 10 years before that, right? Right. So it's not a convenience. It's a necessity in my world to activate the person. If not, we're going to have a less of a life than we could. That's why my kids take it preventatively. It's why I do it preventatively. It's why I'm so passionate about it, because I truly think that there's a lot of people that could have a very different life if they understood activation. Just so you know, guys, don't feel bad if you haven't heard about it, because Washington State just talked about Nrf2 in 2015. 17 years from the time it's discovered to the time it's used in modern medicine. So that's an opportunity in my world.
Love it, love it, love it. Live the life you dream to live.